Welcome to SVG-TV News for Friday, May 26, 2017. I am Rochelle Batiste with the details. Ambassador of the Republic of Cuba, Vilma Reyes Valdespino, is emphasizing the importance of deepening the partnership between SVG and Cuba. The Cuban ambassador was speaking at a pre-celebratory cocktail ceremony on Thursday evening at the embassy to commemorate 25 years of diplomatic ties between Cuba and SVG, observed here today, Friday, May 26, 2017. Ambassador Valdespino said that she is pleased that this country has been a close friend of Cuba since 1992 and pointed out that 25 years of togetherness signifies an unbroken bond.
Han fortalecido nuestra voluntad de profundizar, ampliar y perfeccionar nuestros nexos en todos los ámbitos.
In this process, we have not only taught, but we also learned from the dignity, wisdom, and resilience of the admirable and creative people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. These 25 years have strengthened our will to deepen, expand, and perfect our links in all areas.
Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves also highlighted that, like Cuba's Jose Marti, this country had a national hero in Joseph Chatouillet who fought vigorously for the freedom of the people. PM Gonsalves said that Cubans in Vincent and the Grenadines share the importance of security in national identity from imperial invasion.
You know, we don't pick fights with anybody. We have certain principles and we follow them. And we have our friends. If other people don't agree with us, with our friendships, well, we have to agree to disagree. We are small, but we are strong and dignified people. And in the same way that our national hero, Joseph Chatouillet, fought for the independence of this country against British colonialism, and the way in which Jose Marti fought against Spain and the United States of America for the independence of Cuba, we are joined together. Our ideas are strong and eternal. Different personalities would come and go, but those ideas are deep in our people.
The Prime Minister also expressed gratitude for some of the projects that Cuba has assisted this country with, including the construction of the Argyle International Airport.
Vision Now, which you call
Mission Miracle Mission.
Miracle Mission. We call it Vision Now. And we work very closely on the airport. The airport which you came in, that beautiful airport which was built with a lot of love and caring. Without Fidel and Chavez and Raúl and Maduro, without Venezuela and Cuba, that airport will not be there. And that is why we have the photographs of Fidel and Chavez prominently displayed in the airport.
Since its inception in 1979, the Basic Needs Trust Fund (BNTF), a regional poverty reduction program managed by the Caribbean Development Bank, the CDB, has significantly contributed to the education sector of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, focusing on facility rehabilitation and renovation to complement or support a modern learning environment. Keeping in line with their objective, a kitchen and dining facility constructed at the Diamond Primary School, financed under the BNTF 7 program, was officially handed over and opened at a ceremony at the school grounds on Thursday evening. We hear more about the event in this report by Nikita Tony.
Constructed at a cost of EC $448,250, the principal, staff, and students of the Diamonds Primary School on Thursday, May 25th, officially received their new, modern, and spacious school kitchen and dining facility, highlighting that the construction of the kitchen and dining facility was a direct response to the appalling conditions of the school's former kitchen and overall concerns for the safety of the kitchen staff. Project Manager of the Basic Needs Trust Fund, BNTF, Kenneth Douglas, noted that the BNTF, in conjunction with the government and the Caribbean Development Bank, CDB, has also carried out rehabilitative work on the building.
Close up the roof, some internal work to repair ceilings and improve the electrical, and we replace the front with all these windows. Before, you remember, there was mesh wire, and it was not very good in keeping the rain and the wind and the dust out. Now that we have improved it, the building now can be used in emergency situations. Even if it was not 100% perfect and little more things could be done, we have come a long, long way.
Project Officer 2 within the Ministry of Education, Timothy Scott, outlined that the project has indeed developed the school's capacity to provide quality education to its students.
The Ministry of Education, along with the BNTF, was happy and grateful in terms of getting this project up and running. We want you to take very, very good care of it. Let us ensure that when we come back here in the next 5 or 6 years, the only thing that should happen to it is where the nature in terms of the sun and the rain, that's the only thing should do. It work where we can easily replenish, do some restorative work on top of this property.
Given high praises to the government of SVG as well as the BNTF and the CDB for undertaking what she described as a timely initiative, Principal of the Diamonds Primary School, Hannah Harry, noted that the new facility not only enhances the school's environment, but will also be of great benefit to the overall community.
The first time in the history of this school that such spacious accommodation for cooking and dining has been made available. Yes, it took years, a few years, to deliver, but it was worth it. What you say is what you get. So I'm going to say this right now and hope that we'll get it. Under 5 years, the floor of the dining room will be completed with 24 by 24 porcelain tiles.
Speaking on behalf of the Minister of Education, Senior Education Officer for Primary Schools, Hannah Brown, outlined that the government aims to support access to and retention in their education system by financing the school feeding program, which more than 80% of the student population at the Diamonds Primary School has taken advantage of.
The Ministry of Education encourages all students to practice healthy lifestyles, which will aid your growth and development. We anticipate that we will be spending well over $1,300,000 Eastern Caribbean dollars in the upgrading and furnishing of 27 selected primary school kitchens.
Commending the work of all involved stakeholders, Area Representative Saboto Caesar, who is also a former student of the institution, thanked the BNTF and the CDB for their continued interest in rural transformation. He further noted that while it is one thing for monies to come into the coffers of the government and other developmental agencies, it is another thing to take those monies and deliver programs geared at bettering the people of the nation.
You are bestowed an excellent gift. And I want you to understand and appreciate how privileged you are. There are other schools in the country that are not yet at this stage, but the government of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, we are working to ensure that the school feeding program in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, when compared to anyone in the Caribbean, that we are better by far.
The kitchen of the new facility is equipped with a state-of-the-art cooker hood and exhaust fan, solar hot water system, storage units, solid surface countertops with an adjoined pantry and an external sink, while the open concept dining area is furnished with 2 different sized picnic-style furnitures, which will comfortably seat 50 to 60 students at one time. Nikita Tony reporting for SVG-TV News.
Healthy eating results in wholesome learning, and according to Senior Education Officer with responsibility for primary schools, Hannah Brown, the Ministry of Education continues to encourage all schools to promote healthy lifestyles by providing nutritious meals through their school feeding program. Speaking at the official handing over and opening ceremony of a kitchen and dining facility at the Diamonds Primary School on Thursday, Brown emphasized the need for students, teachers and parents to be more conscious of their eating habits, especially with the increased instances of non-communicable diseases here in SVG.
This program is intended to provide healthy options for our nation's youth. Hence, we must encourage greater participation amongst our students if they are to realize its benefits. Additionally, all parents must take the responsibility to teach our children how to reduce their sugar and sodium intake and consume more water. Educating children from a tender age on how to make healthy choices would help in the long term to reduce the number of persons stricken with non-communicable diseases.
Thanking all involved stakeholders for their work in enhancing the school's kitchen and dining areas, the education officer further called for a more collective approach in achieving a healthier Vincentian society.
The Ministry of Education encourages healthy eating in schools and discourages the use of processed food in the preparation of school meals. We continue to promote the consumption of fruits and vegetables in our Health and Family Life program and other campaigns in schools to boost healthy eating habits among our students. Most schools now have a day designated as Fruit Day. The onus is on all of us to support the schools in this venture and promote healthy eating at home. The provision of this kitchen is therefore important in the preparation of these healthy meals that will support healthy lifestyles.
In other news, several local beekeepers across SVG received training this week in the use and benefits of Pirone hive technology. The two-day training workshop held at the Fisheries Division Conference Room was made possible by the Ministry of Agriculture in collaboration with the Inter-American Institute for Cooperation on Agriculture, AICA. Agriculture instructor and facilitator Alan Williams said the workshop was aimed at improving the methods of beekeeping in SVG and expressed confidence that knowledge shared will aid in the development of the sector.
But to adopt and adapt a more sustainable method of beekeeping in SVG. When we often use the term sustainable, we are referring to a drastic reduction in the importation of basic equipment and supplies that is necessary for beekeeping here locally. This can be done by localizing our honey industry. It also refers to local collaboration of key players throughout the whole sector and the process of the value chain. Sustainable. The word sustainable also means that beekeeping as a source of livelihood will increase the standard of living among all our families. So this two-day workshop will revolutionize our concept of commercial beekeeping in SVG.
Williams also spoke on the benefits that the Pirone hives technology will have on the local beekeeping industry.
Circle around respect for honeybees and their habitat, and to revert to a more traditional method of beekeeping. The beekeeping practice must be done organically and naturally as possible, which allows honeybees to exist with minimum human interference. The bees will naturally build wax and combs inside of their domesticated boxes that later on you will know that they have a different shape, they're hexagonal in shape, which adapts to the scientific symmetric of the honeybee. So today I must express my gratitude to the Beekeepers Association and AICA for selecting me to undergo specialized training last year in this skill and new venture. It was held in St. Lucia last year. So now I become a catalyst in transferring this technology to my fellow beekeepers.
Children can be better off if they have both their parents involved in their lives and education. That's according to Yvette Antoine, Senior Education Officer responsible for primary schools. Antoine spoke at a conference on Thursday at the French's house. The conference was held under the theme, Bridging the Gap, and was geared at encouraging fathers to play a greater role in the educational development of their children. Antoine stated that extensive research have concluded that fathers are an important part of a child's development.
That children can only be better off when their fathers are involved in their children's education. I will now give you some reasons why fathers' involvement in their children's education and life generally, the benefits of those. Children of involved fathers are more likely to demonstrate a greater tolerance for stress and frustration, have superior problem solving and adaptive skills, be more playful, resourceful, skillful, and attentive when presented with a problem, and are better able to manage their emotions and impulses in an appropriate manner. Fathers' involvement contributes significantly and independently to children's happiness.
Also speaking at the conference was a father, Clayton Burnett, who stated that there must be a concerted effort by fathers to place their children as a priority, adding that this is the only way to bridge the gap and have meaningful change in society.
They need us to be there. They're not going to sit down and think, you know, mom and daddy have a quarrel the other day, and they're going to try and make up or something like that. No, they don't have time to figure that out. All they want to know is that they need to have that there. They need us to show up, and not just show up in words, but we need to show up in deeds. Kids want to know that they are priority in our lives. That we have them high there. If we're going to turn the tide, if we're going to bridge the gap, we need to understand this.
A president of the C.W. Prescott Parents Teachers Association, Conroy Huggins, stated that fathers are the most important component of the family unit. He added that fathers are charged with the responsibility of being the family's spiritual guide, and expressed hope that fathers in attendance at the conference will play a greater role in their children's lives.
Man who's created by his creator has been called to be the spiritual guide and the spiritual leader of his family. And that is why Mrs. Antoine said the responsibility is not the church, it's not your pastor, it's the father. And for too long, as fathers and parents, what happens is that we pass the responsibility on to the schools, and we send them to youth meeting and pass them on to the church. And we are running from the responsibility. So fathers, those of you who are here, that is why we are here. We want to really thank you for coming, so that as we share with you, that you would become more involved and more engaging, and have a better understanding of how significant you are in your children's life.
In other news, 38-year-old Ali Gibson will spend the next 30 years behind bars for the killing of Lakita Duke of Diamond. The court heard that Duke was walking home on the night of August 12, 2005, and Gibson was seen walking some distance behind her. The following day, Duke's body was found with a rope around her neck. An autopsy report revealed that she was strangled, and evidence presented in court indicated that the then 21-year-old was sexually assaulted prior to her death. The prosecution on Wednesday sought the death penalty in the case of Gibson after Crown Counsel Kareem Nelson gave the High Court notice of this after a 12-member jury comprised of 11 women and 1 male found Gibson guilty of Duke's murder. The jury reportedly took 3 hours to return with the guilty verdict.